Week 5, Sunday. A reading from St. Augustine's explanation of the letter to the Galatians. The need to realize how powerful is God's grace. The purpose of the Apostle's letter to the Galatians was to make them realize that God's grace, once implanted in them, had effectively freed them from subjection to the law. Now, at the time when the grace of the gospel was first announced to them, there remained some Jews among them who, though now professing Christianity, did not yet fully appreciate the value of the grace they had received and wished to be under the burden of the law. This law had been imposed by God on men who had given themselves over not to righteousness but to sin. It was a law in itself just that had been given to wicked men to show up rather than to take away the essence. For it is only by the grace of faith, working through love, that sin can be removed. They wished to bring back under the burden of the law the Galatians who were already under the grace of faith. They asserted that the gospel was of no profit to them unless they had first been circumcised and obeyed the other fleshly ceremonies of the Jewish rite. This caused them to start suspecting Paul, by whom the gospel had been preached to them, of not holding the same teaching as the rest of the apostles, who at that time were compelling their Gentile converts to conform to Jewish customs. It would even seem that the apostle Peter had yielded to the scandal of such agitators and had been led to the hypocrisy of agreeing that Gentiles would not benefit from the gospel unless they shouldered the burdens of the law. Paul, in this same letter, tells us how he recalled Peter from that hypocrisy. A similar question is raised in his letter to the Romans, but with this difference that he seems to have been able to resolve their problem and amicably to settle the dispute that had arisen in Rome between the Gentile converts and those who had come to the faith from Judaism. By contrast, in this present letter, he is writing to people who had already been unsettled by the authority of those who had come over from Judaism and were forcing on them the observance of the law. Many had already started to believe them and to suspect Paul, who had not wished to allow them to be circumcised, of not having preached the truth. That is why his first words are, "I am astonished that you are so quickly deserting him who called you in the grace of Christ and turning to a different gospel." In that brief opening sentence, he sums up the whole matter. Also, in his introductory greeting, by declaring that his apostolic commission came to him not from men nor through man, a statement quite unparalleled in any of his other letters, he makes two things clear beyond all doubt. First, that those who were promoting such ideas were certainly not authorized by God, but spoke on human authority alone. And secondly, that he must be regarded and accepted as of equal standing with the rest of the apostles so far as concerned the authority of his gospel witness, since he was conscious that his commission as an apostle had come to him not from any man, nor through the medium of any human agency, but straight from Jesus Christ and God.